Welcome back to TacosToGeeks.com. Justin here. Today we got more video game reviews. Today we're going to be reviewing the indie game FarRock Dodgeball. FarRock Dodgeball is a sports RPG based in NYC that includes a story mode, arcade mode, and a versus mode. Buying sneakers in Harlem to improve your stats. Eating NY pizza in Brooklyn to replenish your health. This is more than a dodgeball game. This is an experience. The real NYC experience, and that was the brief synopsis for the game, which is now available on Steam, Apple App Store, and Google Play, and is developed and published by Cybe Gaming. Now let's talk a little bit about the gameplay. As I previously stated, FarRock Dodgeball features 3 modes: story mode, versus mode, and arcade mode, and you are presented with a very wide range of teams from all boroughs of New York City, such as Brooklyn, Manhattan, Queens, Staten Island, and the Bronx. And what you see here, we see the dodgeball ratings for each team. Each team has a set of skills. Some teams are good with power, some teams are good with speed, and some teams are better with catch. And there's also a little bit of arcadey type elements to this dodgeball game. As you can notice that you see that there's a lightning symbol with next to the speed with the FarRock team. That is your super attack, which you're able to use to get a better up and coming advantage on your team. And the only way you do that is when you max out your meter, and the only way to do that is to continually hit your team, hit the opposing team with the ball. And you also have a variety range of stadiums, which is true to New York locations, or inspired by New York locations, such as the Bronx, Far Rockaway, Jamaica Avenue, Coliseum, and Times Square. And of course you have this beautiful rendition map of the train map of New York City. So this is how the gameplay goes. It's very simple on the PC. You have space to throw, you use your arrows to move around, you press space to also catch when you're on defense, C to duck, and then you use Z to use one of your stars. You can see the meter says, you see 2 stars right there next to the FarRock. That can actually help you with your stun ability, which you're able to stun your opponents. And of course, once you, as I previously stated, once you get your bar all the way up to max, you're able to perform a super attack. And the game works very, very well. I would say the most challenging part of the game is definitely the catching. The catching requires precision and timing. Do not think that you're just going to be going back and forth, catching each other back and forth. Now, for some who's watching, so probably wondering, okay, the person got hit, why aren't they going to the jail? FarRock Dodgeball plays a little bit differently, and plus, think about it, if this was just a one-hit game constantly, it would be a little bit frustrating if you're not good at catching. So the whole point of this is to decrease your opponent's health bar, and then they get to the jail. But do not think for 1 second, just because they're in the jail, they're out of the picture. If the opposing team happens to catch the ball that's in jail and they hit you, they get right back into the game, and you're right back to square one. So there's some really strategic elements to this game as well, of you deciding which super you're going to use, which team you're going to use. You definitely have to pay attention to the stats and what the game actually entails. The arcade mode is a tournament type of mode, which you play against all teams or various teams, and you have versus mode, which you can play with your friends as well. Now let's talk a little bit about story, graphics, and sound. Now, the story mode of FarRock Dodgeball is that you follow KJ, who has just moved to Far Rockaway, and upon seeing his friends get bullied, they seek revenge. And throughout the, I won't go too deep into the story, but it's a really neighborhood type of 90s inspired type of story, with kids going around playing dodgeball together, and kids just trying to enter this dodgeball tournament to win money. It's a really fun story, and the story mode, I say, is definitely the heart of this, because it offers so much of meat of the RPG elements in there, where you have to level up and you have to really improve your skills, visit stores, you have to work to earn cash, buy sneakers, which I'm going to show you a little bit later down the line. Graphically, I think the game and the art style works very well for the aesthetics that it's going for. Locations are captured very, very well. And just for a brief moment, I want to talk to you about the gorgeous music of FarRock Dodgeball. The music has a very variety of sounds, such of course mostly inspired by hip hop, nice hip hop percussions with beats, and it works very well for the gameplay. But there's some really chill, lo-fi type of beats in this game that really brings that calm into the story mode, which I thought works very well. Now previously I was talking about the RPG elements of FarRock Dodgeball, and now this is where I said the meat of the sports RPG element comes into play in the story mode. As you progress through the story mode, you have to upgrade your team in order to, truthfully, you have to upgrade your team in order to win this story mode, because the story mode can get challenging, but there are various ways for you to earn money, such as completing feats, as you can see here, by completing certain objectives such as winning a hot dog contest. Winning the DJ contest will earn you money. Those monies can be used to purchase food, which will help you replenish your strength. And such as New York style, you have pizza, you have pizza, you have cheesecake, black and white cookies, syrup sandwich, beef patties, Chinese food, things that you see around the neighborhood in New York City. That's really predominant. But the real highlight of everything when it comes to upgrading is the kicks. Now, kicks are used to give you an advantage in your story mode, such as higher XP, higher strength, and of course you have the super attacks, which is a big advantage as you progress through the game. You can free your opponents from jail, free your teammates from jail. You can use a lightning storm, which will give you an instant kill or instant jail. It's absolutely some really strategic elements, but not all teams are, you're gonna have to really see which teams play a certain way for you to go against them. So some teams have superpowers that have lightning, some teams have the shield. So if you have a shield team, you might want to raise your strength or have something that has a super that can take that out really quickly. So you really have to start thinking about which team is going to, which skill is going to go for which team, and that's probably the most fun part about it. And as you just saw is the kicks, we are able to buy various sneakers, which is inspired by real life sneakers as well. You also have D's Diner, where you're able to buy and purchase your food. I will say, if there's any tip, and I never give a tip during a review like it's a walkthrough, but my tip for everybody here is to definitely do the side missions. The side missions are going to be a lifesaver because they give you money, they give you XP, which is going to be able for you to absolutely load up your stats, and also putting in that work which help you get money as well. You have various ways to make money. Like I said previously, there is a hot dog contest, there is a DJ contest, there is you putting in that work, as you can see here. So there's some cool mini games in here that actually keeps you busy. So the story mode is the meat of the game. It really keeps you immersed of this New York experience as you visit other boroughs, such as Wall Street, such as Canal Street, such as location in other boroughs. So I really did enjoy that type of aspect of it. And of course, for those who grew up in Queens and have ever been to Far Rockaway, here's a look at the Far Rockaway, which for those who grew up in the 90s know exactly what that little shopping area on my avenue looks like. And this right here is one of the other mini games. So FarRock Dodgeball story mode really offers a lot for you to really enjoy. It's a fun game. I did enjoy the story. Dialogue was pretty cool as well. Dialogue I thought really captures New York dialect, New York slang. So you definitely, there is a, yes, one of the characters definitely says dead ass. It would not be a New York game centered around New York neighborhoods without them saying dead ass. So I definitely can't stress the story mode enough. It is an experience, and credit to the developers for this, from great production, from the music. You're gonna love the soundtrack. I didn't talk too heavy on the soundtrack. You're gonna really love the soundtrack. There is one particular song, I forgot which level it is, which stage it is, but that song is really, it gets you bopping your head. So final thoughts here. FarRock Dodgeball, I definitely have to say our rating obviously is buy, wait for sale, or skip it. Buy it. It is a fun game. It's something easy for everybody to pick up. If you're going to get it for mobile as well, it's something you can take for you on the road. PC, obviously you can get it on Steam. It's a fun game. The story mode is where it's at. Arcade mode is fun as well. Tournament, and of course versus mode, where you can play with your friends offline currently. So it's a fun game, really good experience. Definitely pick it up. Some strategic, it is challenging. I'm just gonna say that right now. It is challenging. So you you gotta really be on your A game with this one. So definitely check this one out. It's available now. This is Justin from UntitledGeeks.com saying later days. If you like what we do here, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and of course hit us up on all social media channels: Instagram at @TacosTheGeeks, Twitter at @TacosTheGeeks, Facebook.com/TheTacosTheGeeks blog, Twitch.tv/TheTacosandGeeks, and that is it. We are out of here. I will catch you on the next one. Peace. Later days. I'm out.